The title of this video is going to be something wild, like creating cheeks or something. The point is, we're really talking about generating the presence of cheeks in your world by getting fulfillment through cheeks. And we're talking about rewards. So, where did this come from? I was listening to this Tai Lopez podcast, and he was talking about this guy named 6'8" the Great. It's a really tall guy. Bro's like 6'8", something crazy, and he's got big arms, he's wide, and apparently he walks around the street with a fit on, and girls just like, oh my god, he's so cool, and it just kind of flock to him. There's videos of like him getting reached out to by girls, them saying he has amazing genes, all this stuff, right? And dudes watch this guy and they're like a little bit envious, probably a lot of it envious. Eric's like, I'm just cooked. Like, I was just born with the wrong hand. They're just cooked. And some of them are getting discouraged. I felt a little bit of that. I was like, I'm cooked. If a guy walks by, am I cooked? Pretty much. Another story. I'm going to circle back and explain this in a bit, how it goes to creating cheeks in your presence in your world to where you can be fulfilled. Was with a dude named Wes Watson. Bro's jacked, right? Different model. The dude, 6'8" the Great, probably has, he explained he has a bunch of wives and a bunch of kids, a bunch of stuff, right? It's one model of this. He gets cheeks easy. Tai Lopez had an explanation on how he saw this guy's life that allowed Tai to feel good about his situation, because in the presence of new reference points, if you don't shift your paradigms to appreciate what you have, then you will not appreciate what you have, and you will not be in gratitude, you'll be in desperation. And Tai had a model for allowing him to see that content and then to still appreciate what he has and also acknowledge what that guy has too, which is how we stay high energy, how we stay biased toward ourselves in a positive light, how we keep going. If you don't believe you can do something, if you're in a desperation mindset, if you're a scarcity mindset, you have nothing. You're always grasping for straws. You're never in abundance at all. You can't create it in your brain, so you won't have it in reality. Tai explained this. I'll tell you what that mindset was after this second story. Wes Watson has one girl. She's bad. He posts her on Instagram, and he's talking about how he made a post saying everything that he did in his life was for her. One girl with a kid, apparently. And I heard that, and I was like, but he could have the girl without the tasks. And I didn't understand. I was like, how does this help? You know what I mean? Both of them have their own thing. Both of them have rewards. And I'm like, I was thinking from the place of, how do I get things with least amount of work? That's a bad thought to be in, and I'm going to tell you why. Back to Tai Lopez now. With Tai Lopez, his explanation of how he saw 6'8" the Great was he values himself in the pros and cons of his reality. Every world has pros and cons, but it was hard to see the cons of not being 6'8" the Great. In Tai Lopez's brain, he analyzed the fact that it's going to be hard for that guy to make hundreds of millions of dollars. And the reason why is because things come a bit easy to him. What Ty's talking about here is the path to get rewards. If you wake up and you were born and everything's easy to you, you just get things in your hand, there's no need for you to become better. There's no path there. So looking for mediums to find that path is all that really matters when it comes to having a good life. Do you have a reason to do things? That's the point. Short guys are rich. The only guy that's tall that's rich is Elon Musk. The rest of them are like 5'7", 5'6". Why? Why are they this way? Because they had to work. Like, the only way for Jeff Bezos to get the same kind of girl as 6'8" the Great is for him to literally be making $100 million. And then he still gets flexed on by Leonardo DiCaprio. There is a world where he have the same self-value and same ability to get the outcome he wants with the girl he wants in that paradigm. Not saying she's a gold diggers, not saying girls need money to love you, not saying any of that. What I'm saying is, in order to get the same amount of value on the outcome he wanted in that situation, on this paradigm, there is a way to do it mentally, but he didn't have that. So he had to use money. And that picture of Leonardo DiCaprio looking at his wife, or his wife looking at Leonardo DiCaprio, was a depiction of that struggle. How to find value, how to get status, how to be unique in your own way. If your uniqueness is just what you're born with, that's an asset, but it also has cons to it. And the offset of that with 6'8" the Great is that Tai Lopez is going to work harder. The short dudes work on money because they have to do it. They're less relaxed. There's less chicks they have to say no to in the beginning. So they work hard and then they have the ability to do it. Now, with dude, he probably didn't have to do that for a long period of time. Is that bad? Can he work hard? Yes. Is that something that's going to detriment him? Probably not. But the point is, there's pros and cons in your paradigm. So you look at that post, you see that thing, we're gonna see more and more things that we think we want, more and more people's lives that we think are good for us, and or would be good if we had them. And we have to be able to offset that in our own mind by seeing the pros of our own situation, and also if seeing the cons of theirs, but also not using it as a means to one-up them. But I just see that I have these pros, he has those pros, he has these cons, I have these cons. Both of the things are neutral. There is no desperation. That's the goal. Now back to the video. Creating cheeks in your world. How does that apply to this? Here we go. This is based upon the mindset from the last video, right? Sorry for that aside. The mindset from the last video, I introduced myself and I told you your friends are not locked in, and pretty much I'm trying to be that locked in friend so you can go get your friends locked in and we can connect and do business stuff. My name is Rick. I was on an academic scholarship, full ride, I was #1 student, 8 internships, 2 in data science, 2 in programming, 2 in sales, and I left all of it senior year because I was like, I'm gonna be unfulfilled in this path. I'm trying to get big arms. I want to have a good love life. I want to be strong. I want to be skilled. I want to become that character. I want to have like fighting skills and flex again for the camera. You get the vibes. Point is, we're good. I want to make a lot of millions of dollars, pretty much. So, and one of the main things on that path is figuring out self-worth. And I'm going to explain to you what I learned by trying to make my own personal self-worth higher in my brain, because I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of computational ability. If I don't control my mind or understand where to guide it, then, especially if you're smart, it's hard to be confident because you see things that are not trying to make you grateful for yourself. Okay, continue. And we got to spin it toward gratitude. All right, going forward. #1 premise. The path to the mountain is more fulfilling than the destination. And #2, the body only generates what you need, and what we want is big arms, they'll be bigger soon, of course, big skills, talking everything, doing cool stuff, shooting guns, fighting people, being good at conversations, all that stuff, right? And a big brain. Man, my iPad's like shifting around a lot. A big brain. And the big brain means making money, getting respect, networking, aesthetics, freedom, having good relationships with people respecting you, you're respecting them, the whole shebang. Amazing life. So, #1, how do we get those things? Now that we have the mindset from the last video, how do we use these 2 principles and to get to our goals, and we set up rewards in our life that allow us to move forward, right? With Wes Watson, he set a reward with the girl that he loved to make him make hundreds of millions of dollars, and on the path he enjoyed it more and enjoyed the rewards more and felt more fulfilled through it. He actually could have got that girl before he made the company. He probably could have. Would that have made him more fulfilled? Would that have made him money? Would that have made him respected? No. What we want is a fulfilled life. The longer path took him to get there, even if it took him 20 years, I don't know how long it took him. The fact he went on that path made him a better person, made her love him more, and made them have better experiences together. That's what we want to do. With 6'8" the Great, I don't think, like, he definitely probably has that for himself. I'm not saying he doesn't. All I'm saying is there are pros and cons to every situation, every life. He probably has that for himself. I'm not saying anything bad about him, but you look at him and you think, I want what he has in some regard. You don't have to have what he has, and there's a pro that you don't have what he has because it makes your life better for you. There's a pro you're not him. And I did not know that without thinking this through. That's what you get from this video, the task in order to do so. So first, we gotta make a list. This list is gonna make you the most self-confident individual you've ever in the world. I'm working on this right now. I'm getting better at this skill. I'm not a master at this. Of course, there's period of times where I'm questioning myself. Of course, I think about things, but as this is the thing I'm doing and working at the same time as you. So, 1, make a list of the attributes you want to have. The things you want in your life, there can be 1, 2, 3 lists, doesn't matter. You're gonna converge them all eventually. And the way you want to feel daily. So, and then you align them. So, I want to be the kind of person who does not operate in fear. I don't want to operate in desperation. I want to make brave choices and have high energy thoughts. I want to look at my day and think, I want to have massive aspirations for my days, and I want to work toward those. I want to be the man that makes impossible possible, right? So, with that in mind, what are those broken down to? Pretty much every day, I want to have health, relationships, and business work. Those 3 things in that order for me. So, to navigate those, I want to be someone worth respecting. So, I want to have things that people like. I want to be able to understand people. I want to be perspicacious. I want to see opportunity. I want to be able to see people's minds, be emotionally intelligent, all that stuff. List it out, right? List the things you want in your life, like material things. You can start with the mental or the physical. It doesn't matter. You can say, I want a Lamborghini. So what kind of person drives this car? The kind of person that deserves that car. How does he feel in that car? What kind of person goes to that dealership? How do they feel going there? Were they confident enough to go? Do they have high enough self-worth to believe they can have that thing? Yes. So, how do you want to feel daily? To be the kind of person who can walk into a dealership and buy that thing. Not saying that money's everything, but money does help, right? You do want cool stuff. You do want to go to have free time, have free days. What kind of person has free time their entire life? Even when the storms come, even when the stocks go down, even when a tornado blows up your house, what kind of person contains freedom and has the ability to still pivot when things get bad? The person that's prepared, the person that has money, the person people trust, the person that brings value to the marketplace. That's who we want to be. That's who I'm trying to become. This is, again, a conversation from a person who are same level as you. I'm not saying I'm above you. I'm learning this at the same time. All I'm trying to do is be that locked in friend so we can have the same direction and work together. That's all I'm saying. Back to the point. With that, you align them. So these need to all line up. All these need to line up. So the attributes of this need to be correlated to Lamborghini. Lamborghini needs to be correlated to what you want to feel daily. All that stuff needs to be in the same boat. What attribute he is strong, and therefore his strength gives him the car. Therefore, his strength in the car means every day he has to have more optimism. I'm going to be optimistic, work on my big arms, and then drive the car good. That needs to all be in your brain. Bullet points. So the breaking difference from some folks is that they think they can get the attributes and then they don't attach the thing they want to the thing. So, example. So I tell my parents or people that are older than me, like, I want to have this amount of money. If they're in a world where money was not available to them and they worked their butt off all their life, they have the positioning aligned with the mindset of money is evil. People who have a lot of money did evil things. If I think that, then I will never be able to be good and have money. So I can't think that. So align these. Just go through and make sure they all work together. Then, number 3, you create situations where you need to have more or better from your mindset or body to get the outcome you would enjoy. So, one attribute could be high self-esteem, right? Or respect for yourself, right? Thinking you are worth enough or worth a lot, worth enough to do the things you can, worth to aspire for that crazy goal. You have the opportunity to do so, right? In order to do that, to have high self-worth, you must prove to yourself you are worthy by doing hard shit. And you look at yourself in the mirror and you be like, I am that guy. I did XYZ, right? So, choose a thing that you would have to be another world in self-esteem to do. For example, David Goggins, 100-kilometer runs, right? The kind of person that says, yes, I want to do a 100-kilometer run is someone who is confident in their ability to persevere, confident ability to run, have cardio in general, right? Him attaching that goal was before he felt he could do it and had to train to get there, right? Even if he had some base of training, he still had a goal that was high enough. The self-esteem of the person that can say yes to that, I can win that. He assumed that for a bit to set the goal and then walk toward it. And then on the path, he had to have the attributes to allow him to continue. The goal was first. The pain is first. The outcome is first. Set that based upon and make sure the bullet points of what it takes to get there are what you want to be. Right. And then your body will give you what needs to happen to get there because your body helps you. It's a helper. It's a catalyst. It's not something that is there before. You're not strong before you have a reason to be strong. It only gives you what you need. Same with testosterone. Same with conversation skills. Do you actually try? Do you have a reason to speak well? Do you have a reason to want to do math? Do you have a reason to think? Do you have a reason to be hardworking? If you don't have it, and you won't have it. Okay, you attach these, so like, for example, the 100K run, maybe the end of it's at like a view or a finish line, right? That's the outcome he wants. He wants to look at his wife or girlfriend and give her a big hug at the end of the race, right? He wants to feel her smile on, like, look at him and smile, maybe, right? That's the outcome he wants. Outcome can be anything, right? If you do high dopamine tasks, then the outcome should be a high dopamine task, right? If you're gonna jewel after you did 10 miles, right? Because it'll make your life better. Even if you can have the jewel 100 times every single day, it's probably better to have it 3 times a day, and every time you do it, you did like an hour or 2 hours of work. If that's the case, all you're doing is exponentially increases your success. So, this is a version of Cheeks. This is Cheeks. Yes, there's a way to get Cheeks every single day, every single week, from random women all the time. And there is some people that were born as easy that way. I'd argue their life is crap because they don't have to do things in order to do that. So one, they're getting their reward. The rewards mean less to them over a longer period of time. They're just flooding their brain with dopamine for things they didn't have to work for. And if they didn't have to, and look, I'm not saying you have to work or whatever. All I'm saying is the level of work or journey toward the task will increase the value of the reward and also make you fulfilled on the way, because life is just what happens on the way to shit, on the way to things. So, and this is like we're talking about a complex area. This is non-binary. Exceptions don't disprove the rule. So this is Cheeks in this regard. So, formula for using Cheeks to be W-mans. Formula for how to do things that are high rewarding, high fun, to celebrate, to make your stuff better. Don't celebrate without work. It's not worth it. So, it's talking to myself right now too. Again, we're on the same vibes. We're the same age. I'm not saying I did anything crazy. We're just talking. XYZ outcome. In this case, Cheeks. Plus your body needing to help you, right? Equals progress and journey. So, outcome you want to get, on the way to the outcome, your body has to be something that you are not yet. It has to grow some. That equals a progress and a journey. That equals this together, this progress and journey, creates happiness, fulfillment, and more life. This is my model for existence. I'm gonna keep pushing toward this throughout my life. Yeah. Putting it into action. I want to have a scenic, cool mountain view. I want to see that, right? And the bad version of this would be to Google it, because you can see the same thing you can see in person. It's probably a little less resolution, but you see it. You can put the VR headset on. You have to go anywhere. You can be inside your house. This leads to sadness, gay, loneliness, no Cheeks. Your drugs are going to be terrible to you. You're going to adjust to the rewards, and you're not going to want to do anything, even though you have everything that's supposed to make you happy. Unfulfilled Cheeks, unfulfilled life. Good, climbing the mountain. Climb the mountain to see the view. Output. Gains, energy, respect, W life, fulfillment, more respect, more friends, more happiness, and your grandkids will look at their granddad in pictures and think, wow, that guy was a G. That's what I do for my granddad. I hear more stories all the time, and I play them back in my mind, and it just makes everything it just locks me in for real. I want to be that for my grandkids. I want to be that for my future wife. I want to be that for my family. I want to be that person that has a reason to be respected. I want them to look at me and think, wow, I can do more with my life. And if I don't have that, then that would pretty much be a vacuous existence. So, in my next video, I'm going to make sure I fix my iPad screen so it doesn't turn anymore. It's actually quite frustrating. But you get the gist. W video. Talk to you soon.